Hey yo, what's going on guys? Tyson Gaylord here, back at it again with another video. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about some more philosophical bullshit like I've done in the previous videos. So yeah, I'm in my car this time. That's probably where I'm going to film the rest of my videos, so some random homeless guy doesn't bother me like in the last video, if you watched the last video. Today we're going to be talking about, I don't know what I titled the video, but we're going to be talking about the experience machine, which is a thought experiment put forth by Robert Nozick. And to be honest, it kind of piqued my interest a little bit. So I'm going to talk about it in this video. And I'm going to explain why I think it's fucking stupid. So yeah, let's get right into it, shall we? Okay, so Robert Nozick is an American philosopher who came up with the thought experiment. I'm just reading exactly what I just said. Whatever. He came up with a thought experiment in his 1974 book, Anarchy, State, and Utopia. No one fucking cares about what I just said, but whatever. I said it anyway. Okay, so the thought experiment goes like this. So imagine a machine that could give you, it could simulate any experience that you could possibly want. So if you want to get plowed by 12, so if you want to have the hottest girlfriend in existence and have hot sex with this girl, you could have that in the experience machine. If you wanted to eat 12 cream-filled donuts, you could have that in the experience machine. Like, the experience machine in this hypothetical, it can literally give you any experience that you could possibly want. You could have all the friends in the world that you want. You could have the hottest girlfriend. You could have all the money that you want. You could have the coolest car. You could have the biggest mansion. You could have 25 yachts. You could have 25 Lamborghinis. You could be famous. Whatever. I think you get the point. The point is, this machine can simulate any experience that you could possibly want. So, the reason he came up with this thought experiment, it's supposed to be a critique of hedonism. So, if you don't know what hedonism is the, I guess it's like, I don't know what you would call it, but basically it's the idea that pleasure is the most valuable thing. So, like, all of your decisions in life, they should all be trying to maximize your pleasure. So, that's like the highest good, I guess you can say, pleasure. And suffering is like the lowest bad. The highest good is pleasure, and the lowest bad is suffering. That's like what hedonism is. That's the whole philosophy behind hedonism. And I guess it's also, he probably uses this as a critique of like utilitarianism, which is basically hedonism, but used as like an ethical framework. So, because like that's what ethics is all about. It's like telling people what they should do. So like utilitarianism says that you should try to maximize the pleasure for the greatest number of people, and you should minimize the suffering. That's what you should do. That's like the right thing to do. That's what utilitarianism is. So this thought experiment is supposed to be a critique of hedonism and utilitarianism. So, and the reason he says this is because he argues that if pleasure is the only thing that matters in life, then everyone should willingly plug into the machine. Because obviously the machine would provide you with all these pleasurable experiences. You could have any positive experience that you want. You could eat as many Doritos as you want without any of the health consequences. You could have sex every single day with all the hottest women that you could never pull in real life. So it's like, if pleasure is really the only thing that matters, then everyone, like if that's what you believe, then you should plug into the machine. But he argues that people would not want to plug into the machine. And it's basically like a intuition argument, because like intuitively it feels like pleasure is not the only thing that matters, because otherwise that would be the right thing to do. But for some reason it doesn't feel like most people would not plug into the machine because there's something intuitively wrong about it. And he says that, I don't know what he really believes, but he argues that pleasure can't be the only thing that matters. There has to be something else. I don't even know what he are. I didn't even read his book. I'm pretending like I know anything about what he believes, but whatever. But I think the point he was trying to make is that most people wouldn't plug into the machine. So that says that it can't be the only thing that matters, pleasure. Because if you truly believe that pleasure was the only thing that matters, then that is what you would do. That's like the rational thing to do, to plug into the machine. But I don't think that this is successful at all at critiquing hedonism. I think this is wrong in a couple of regards. So let me brush over that now. So some of the reasons he gives for why people wouldn't plug into the machine is, I'll just list them up. Okay, so the reason people don't want to plug into the machine is because people want to like actually achieve things. They don't want to just feel like they have achieved something. They want to actually achieve something. So like in the machine, you might have the experience of like being the greatest baseball player of all time or something. But like that's not what people want. People don't. Oh, wait, another thing I forgot to mention is when you plug into the machine, you don't know that you're in the machine. So that's like an important caveat, because obviously if you plugged into the machine and you like you had the experience of being the greatest baseball player of all time, it's not the same when you know it isn't real. Like when you know that, oh, this is all just fake. I'm really just like in a virtual reality machine or something. I'm not actually, like in real life, I'm a freaking weasel or whatever, and I couldn't hit a homer to save my life. But in the machine, I am this amazing baseball player. But you still know in the back of your head, like, yeah, this is all fake. It's not actually real. So it's obviously that wouldn't be as good. But like the important thing to realize is that when you enter the machine, it wipes your memory. You don't have any memory of like choosing to enter the machine. So you have no idea that you're even in an experience machine while you're in it. You feel like as if this is like real life or whatever. So that's like a very important caveat to mention. So anywho, so yeah, people don't want to feel like they're achieving things. They want to actually achieve things. Another thing is people want to know what's like actually true. They don't want to live a lie, I guess. Like they want to know like what's true about the world. They don't want to live in this fake world. They want to know like the truth of reality or whatever. Anyhow, another thing people will say is that, oh, I don't know why I'm going, whatever. The way I'm doing this is so stupid, but whatever. I'll just roll with it. Okay, so another thing people say is people want to love like real people. Like people want to have relationships with like real physical people, I guess. They don't want to have a relationship with like a robot, because like that's what in the experience machine, it's all like fake and fabricated or whatever. So those are a couple of reasons why people don't want to enter the machine, and I'm going to explain why all those reasons are freaking stupid. So the first thing I want to say is that I think just because people say that they want to enter the machine, that doesn't mean that they're right. That just because you think that it would be in your best interest to not enter the machine, like that doesn't mean that you're right. You're still, humans are fallible, obviously. Like just because you think you know what's best for you, that doesn't mean that you do know what's best for you. So I already feel like that's like a weak argument. Like just because humans are freaking idiots. Like we're stupid as fuck. So like just because we think that the experience machine is not in our best interest doesn't mean we're right. And I don't think that we're right. I think humans are like illogical beings. Like we're irrational, illogical beings, and what we want doesn't really make any sense at the end of the day. If you actually think about the things that you want, I don't think you can rationalize it. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, anywho, so the first thing, people say that they want to actually achieve things. They don't want to just feel like they achieve things. But I think this is just stupid. I don't think there's any difference because, well, first of all, I don't think in this reality, like people assume that we already achieve things when, like for me, I don't believe in free will. So I already think that you don't achieve things really in this reality because you're just like a product of your circumstances and like your genetics and your social and cultural environment. And I don't think you have any control over your life. I think either your life is determined by like biology, genetics, or like I said, your social and cultural environment. Or if it's not determined, then I think your life is just random, because I don't see any other option. I made a whole video talking about why I don't believe in free will. If you want to watch that, go watch that, even though it's a terrible video, but whatever. But yeah, so people who say, oh, I want to enter the experience machine because it's not real, like you're not actually achieving anything. But like what I would say to them is like, you're not even achieving things in this world. So it's like I don't think that's what's important. Like, this is what I believe. I believe that experience is the only thing that matters. Like, without experience, you don't exist. And I already talked about this in the last video where I talked about like the philosophy of identity. Because I think the self is an illusion. I don't think you actually exist. Which is obviously a depressing view, but whatever, man. Whatever. So yeah, I don't think you exist. I think the self is an illusion. So it's like, but anywho, yeah. I think the only thing that exists is like experience. The only thing that like meaningfully exists. Because without experience, like, nothing really meaningfully exists. So what do I mean by that? So like when I look at a tree, like a tree doesn't exist from its own point of view. It only exists from other people's point of view. Like it only exists insofar as I'm like looking at it. Like I'm looking at the tree, I can sense it. But it doesn't really exist. All it is just like inanimate physical matter. But like that's what we are made out of. We're made out of matter. My worldview is that I think that experience is the only thing that's like really valuable. Like without experience, nothing really matters. Like before conscious experience arised in the universe, like on Earth, I mean, I'm sure there's consciousness in other places in the universe, but whatever. Before consciousness arised in the universe, I don't think anything really mattered. Like if some random star exploded, like that doesn't matter to anyone, because I don't think the star is obviously not conscious, or at least we think it's not conscious. Maybe everything's conscious. Panpsychism is true, whatever. But if panpsychism isn't true, then there's nothing meaningful about a star exploding. It's only meaningful if someone's there to like observe the star exploding and to have some meaningful reaction to it. So like I think experience, so without experience, nothing really matters. That's what ultimately matters in life. It's experience. And I think that experience can be broken down into like, there are good experiences and there are bad experiences. I think, honestly, I haven't thought this through enough, but I think that without desire, you can't experience at all. Like, I think without desires, you can't feel anything. Like, the reason you feel something, like, if you're having a neutral experience, I think that statement doesn't make any sense. A neutral experience, like one that isn't good nor bad. Like, I don't think that's an experience at all, because that's what being dead or asleep or not existing is like. It's just neutral. It's not good, it's not bad, it's not anything. I think anytime you have an experience, it's automatically either good or bad. Like something that you prefer, or something that you want, or something that you don't want. Because like I would say that I'm not a panpsychist. Panpsychism says that consciousness is like fundamental to the universe. So like atoms and particles are all conscious. I don't believe in that. I mean, I don't know what I believe in at the end of the day. I'm just thinking here. But I've been thinking that I think that consciousness, it requires a sense of self. Like without a sense of self, experience couldn't happen. Like there has to be like someone there, even if it's just an illusion. There has to be an illusion of self in order for experience to happen. Because that's what you are. You are just like made of matter. But you're not just matter. You're matter that's like programmed to feel, to like desire certain things. Like I desire a certain temperature. If you put a hot stove or a hot pan on my arm, it would burn, and I would be like, ow, I don't want that feeling, because I have desires. But like if you put a hot pan on like a tree, it wouldn't care, because it doesn't have preferences. It doesn't have a sense of self. So you're not burning anything. But like the tree and me are made of like the same things. We're both made of like physical matter. We're both made of atoms and molecules and whatever. The only difference is there's like a sense of self here. And that sense of self is what gives rise to experience. Because without a sense of self, like that's the only difference. There is a sense of self happening to this arrangement of particles. Whereas like the tree, there is no sense of self there. Because it's not it needs to be in a certain arrangement of particles. But anywho, I'm getting sidetracked. But okay, the point I was trying to make is that I think that experience is all that matters. So when people say, oh, I want to enter the experience machine because I value like real stuff. Like to me, the only thing that's real is like experience itself. Because without experience, nothing matters. Without experience, you're just a tree. It's like there might be physical, whatever that word means, physical things happening, like atoms and molecules moving around in space or whatever, but none of that matters. If there's no desires, nothing matters. It's like, and also, there are like some consciousness researchers, like anal sex, as I like to call him, because I'm inappropriate. He's like a neuroscientist, I think. He's a consciousness researcher, and he says that consciousness is like a controlled hallucination. So basically, it's like almost like Robert Nozick's thought experiment. Like our brains are like creating experience. Just like the experience machine, it creates experiences in your brain. But like your brain is already an experience machine that's like creating experiences. So it's like you wouldn't plug into like a machine because you want like real experiences, but really like nothing. It's like, what even is real? Like what does that even mean? What does it mean for, because I think, this is my view, like I think if you experience something that is real to you, like even if you see something that's not physically there, I don't think it matters. Like if I have the experience of getting my arm chopped off, but nothing actually happened to this physical matter that I call my arm, it's like, it doesn't matter. The experience is still real. Like obviously there are people who hallucinate things. They see things that aren't actually physically there or whatever. But it's like, they still have experiences, and those experiences are still valuable. Like if you have a positive experience of something that isn't actually physically there, it's like, it doesn't matter. The experience is there. And like I said before, experience is the only thing that matters. Because without experience, nothing matters. Nothing matters. Like, whether the physical world exists or not, like, it doesn't matter if there's no one there to see the physical world without that experience. So this whole idea of like, oh, I want something that's real. It's like, it is real. Like if you have if you plug yourself into an experience machine, it is real. To you, to the person, the illusion of self that is having that experience in that machine. I mean, this is all hypotheticals. Like, what if it's not even possible to do the experience machine? Because, like, I mean, I think it is possible because we already kind of do that. Like, something I've realized, like, video games and, like, people who play video games with, like, virtual reality headsets, that's, like, really getting closer to, like, the experience machine. It's like, whenever you play video games, you're literally, or, like, if you watch porn, like, you're simulating having sex without actually having sex. Or when you play video games where you're playing Call of Duty and shooting people, you're simulating doing violent things without actually doing them, but you're still getting the experience. Like, why would people play video games if, like, obviously that matters, even if it's fake. Like, I've had so much fun playing video games. Like video games are really cool and awesome, but the only thing that would be better is if they were, like, actually real and, like, more immersive. Because when you play video games, you're only stimulating, like, your eyes and your ears. And even then, you're not, like, it's not as good as, like, in real life. Like, seeing something in a video game versus seeing something in real life, it's not as much detail. Like, when you see something in real life, it's, like, 100K footage or whatever. Like, you see things in extreme detail, where when you're playing video games, it's, like, all pixelated or whatever. Like, even the most high-quality video games, and it's not immersive. You're still, like, looking at a screen. You're not, like, fully immersed. I guess if you wear, like, VR goggles, you're more immersed or whatever. But it's like, yeah. Like, and video games are so awesome. Like, why do you think so many people play video games? It's because they don't like their actual life. Their real life. Real life can be really boring and uninteresting. That's why people play video games, because you can do things in there that you can't do in real life. Like, how awesome would it be to like have this, go in this virtual reality world and like fly around like Superman, or like be like Homelander and just laser a bunch of people because you hate humanity or what. Like, you could just do anything. It's like, I see no reason why we shouldn't do that. Because like, if you, especially if you do have this view that I have, which is that experience is the only thing that matters, I don't see why we shouldn't try to be aiming towards that in the future. It's like, I think people are just coping. People don't like the idea that we are these pleasure robots and that's like all we are. But it's like, when you really think about it, it's like, what else could matter? Like, people who believe in God, like, there's so many purposes of life that people give. Like, oh, the purpose of life is to seek truth or whatever. That's another thing people say. Like, oh, I wouldn't want to go in the virtual reality machine because I want to know what's like actually true. It's like this Matrix thing. If you ever watched the Matrix, the movie, you know, you got the red pill and you got the blue pill. If you take the red pill, you learn the truth about the world. Whereas if you take the blue pill, you stay in the Matrix and you live in this fake reality. Like, that's literally what the experience machine is. It's just like the Matrix. Because in the Matrix, like Neo and all the other humans, they're stuck in the Matrix in this fake world that's not actually real. Because like, there's a real world that's been taken over by AI robots or whatever. And then you got the fake world, which is the Matrix. And then when Morpheus comes and like gives them the option, like, oh, do you want to take the red pill or the blue pill? Like, obviously most people would say, oh, I want to take the red pill because that's like interesting or whatever, and I want to know. But like, this is the flaw in human thinking. It might actually be better, even though the real world is shit. It's like, people would be like, oh, I just want to know what's true. I want to know, I don't want to live this fake reality. But it's like, the reason people want to take the the red pill, is because it's interesting. Because imagine, that's literally a part of human nature. That's just one of our desires. We like new experiences. We like interesting things. Like, we get bored really easily. Like, that's just like a natural human reaction. If someone told you that, oh, if you take this pill, you'll discover this whole new world and you'll go on this big adventure. It's like, obviously people are going to want to do that. That just aligns with our desires. So that's why people want to take the pill. But like, I think humans are very, like, people say that they want to know what's true, but I don't think that's actually true. This is another case of people not knowing what they want. Like, for example, if, let's say you were married to someone your entire life, and at the end of your life, someone comes up and tells you that your wife has been cheating with you for your entire life. She's been cheating on you with your best friend, and you're just realizing this at like 90 years old, right before you're about to die. It's like, someone just told you the truth. Like, this is, you say that's what you want, but like, would you really want that? Because I think it would be objectively bad if someone told you the truth. Because if no one ever told you that your wife was cheating on you, then you would have just died thinking that your wife loved you and you would have had such a great experience. Like, obviously that would be better. Even if it's not true, even if it was true that your wife was cheating on you, it doesn't matter. As long as you don't know. Like, that's the thing. If you did know that your wife was cheating on you, I mean, at that point, you can't just pretend like your wife is a good person. Like, that wouldn't work. Like, that option is no longer on the table. You can't just enjoy your life. I mean, that's kind of like an analogous situation, because like, obviously making the decision to go into the pleasure machine would be a very hard decision. It would be very uncomfortable and very against your desires, because you don't want to think that pleasure is the only thing that matters. So that would be like a very hard decision to make. But like, if you could like reverse, if someone told you this information about your wife, like, oh, she's been cheating on you your entire life, if you could press a button to like forget that information so that you could just live the rest of your life and enjoy the rest of the time you have with your wife or whatever without knowing that information, that's very similar to like the pleasure machine, the experience machine, because yeah, it would be an uncomfortable decision to make. Like, am I really gonna press this button? Like, that seems so wrong. Like, no, we have to know what's true. But it's like, I think it would be better for you. It would be objectively better. Like, most people wouldn't admit that, because most people are little pieces of shit, but it is just objectively better. It would produce, like, I don't believe in, like, subjective. Like, some people say, like, people's experiences are subjective, and, like, you can't say what's, like, objectively right for something, or you can't say what's objectively right for someone or what's objectively wrong. But I completely disagree. I think it's objective. I think experience is objective. Like, there are some experiences that are objectively bad for some people, and some experiences that are objectively good for some people. Like, if you're designed, I believe that we are designed in a certain way. If you evolve to want to eat food and you don't get food, then you just suffer. And I think that goes for all of our desires. Like, there are objective good and bad things for us. Like, obviously it's subjective in the sense that we're not all the same, obviously. Like, some people have different desires. Like, women are attracted to men and men are attracted to women for the most part. So obviously there's differences. So if that's what you mean by subjective, but it's still, like, objective. Like, for this person, if they're designed in a certain way to want certain things, then yeah, there are, like, certain objective facts about what they want, obviously. So, like, I don't think it's like because, like, if you ask someone, like, oh, would you want to know that your wife was cheating on you? Like, if she was cheating on you, you would want to know the truth. But it's like, just because you say that you do want to know the truth, that doesn't mean you're right. Because I believe that we could figure this out. It's like a scientific question almost. Like, we could determine if that's actually in your best interest or not. If it's actually going to produce, like, a good experience or a bad. Like, obviously, if you found out your wife was cheating on you, that would be a bad experience. Like, there's no question about that. So, like, why are we pretending like truth is, like, this great thing that matters when it obviously doesn't? Because, like, I just gave an example of, like, where knowing the truth would result in a bad outcome. Because that's what matters at the end of the day. It all, like, I think that pleasure and pain are the only things that intrinsically matter. Like, why is believing in truth good? It's because it ultimately, because if you know what's true, then that's gonna, obviously that's very good. Like, if you know that fire will burn you when you touch it, that's obviously an example where knowing what's true is a good thing. But knowing what's true can also be a bad thing. For, like, the example I just gave, if you knew that your wife was cheating on you, that would produce a bad experience. It would be objectively better for you to never know that. And another thing, like, people say, oh, I believe the purpose of my life is to believe in God, or to, like, praise Jesus or something, to follow Jesus's teachings. But it's like, why? If you could ask, you can literally ask anybody who has, like, their purpose of life, like, why, what is the point of that? And it will all come back to, like, oh, I just want to do that. Like, why should I follow Jesus? Oh, because you just should. It's like, there is no non-circular reason. You just have to admit that you just want to do that. Because, like, I don't think anyone can provide any non-circular reason. Like, okay, why like, some people say, oh, the purpose of life is to be creative or whatever, like, to create stuff. But then I could ask you, okay, what's the purpose of creating stuff? And they're not going to be able to give you an answer. They might say, oh, it's good for the soul or whatever. It's good for the human soul. Like, we're meant to create. But it's like, okay, you're just saying we're meant to create. So that's, like, robot shit right there. It's like, our souls are designed in a certain way to want certain things. Like, that's just hedonism rebranded. Like, even if you believe in a soul, like, people don't like the idea that we're just deterministic robots or whatever who are designed by evolution to like certain things. People don't like that for some reason. But, like, when you bring a soul into the mix, somehow people think that changes it. It's like, no, if you, like, people say, like, oh, so and so is good for the soul, or doing this is bad for the soul, it drains the soul, or whatever freaking nonsense, bruh. It's like, you're literally just rebranding the idea that you're a robot. You're saying, we're not physical robots, we're just immaterial robots. It's like, but yeah, we're still robots, though. We're still, like, designed. Our souls are designed by God or whoever and designed to do certain things. It's like, does that make you feel better about yourself? It's like, you're still a freaking robot. Alright, this video has been a mess, but whatever. Alright, another thing I want to say is that, so yeah, some people say, oh, I don't want to enter the experience machine because I want to have real relationships with real people or whatever. And I think one thing to think about is that, okay, what if I changed your girlfriend, hypothetically speaking, because obviously nobody watching this video has a girlfriend, but if you did have a girlfriend who you loved very much, if your girlfriend was a philosophical zombie versus someone who's actually conscious, what would be the difference to you? Obviously, for the girl, it would be different because, like, there would be an experience happening in one, because that's what a philosophical zombie is. If you don't know what that is, a philosophical zombie is someone who acts like a human does, except they don't, without the conscious experience, without any experience. They're just like a robot or a zombie. But they would still act in the same way that your girlfriend would act. It would be no different. It's like, from your point of view, you would have no idea that they are a philosophical zombie. And that's important. Again, back to the experience machine, you don't know that you're in the experience machine. Once you're in it, you have no idea. And like, another thing is, like, you could be in the experience machine, like, right now. Like, we have no idea. Like, some people theorize that, oh, like, what if we're just like a brain in a vat? That's like one thing people say, but whatever. So yeah, I don't think it would make any difference to your life if your girlfriend or anyone who you love was like a philosophical zombie. Like, it doesn't make a difference, especially if they do like the same things. It's like, obviously thinking about these things are very uncomfortable, but I think it's important, extremely important, actually. And again, like, if experience is the only thing that matters, like, if you never knew that your girlfriend was a philosophical zombie, it wouldn't matter to you. Like, all that matters is experience. It doesn't matter what's like really real or what's physically there. The only thing that matters is experience, because without experience, nothing matters. Like I've already said many times throughout this video. Because, like, what could matter if there is no experience? That's like the whole point of life. Without experience, nothing happens. Nothing meaningfully happens. Experience is the thing that matters, because what else exists besides experience? Oh, there's like the physical world, but the physical world doesn't matter at all. It's like, and again, like, I think this is what a lot of consciousness researchers, they think that our brains, we don't see physical reality. Like, our brains create our experience. Like, experience doesn't happen to us. Experience is created by our brain. And it just so happens, well, it's not like chance or anything. Like, the reason why we exist today is because we evolved to see reality as it is. Because obviously, if your brain generated an experience that didn't correlate with the physical world, then obviously you wouldn't have survived. But the reason that we have survived today is because our experience matches onto close enough to physical reality. Maybe we don't see, like, there are things that we can't see, like dark matter, dark energy, probably some other things. Like, maybe there's more dimensions that we can't see. That's what, like, string theory predicts, that there might be more dimensions that are beyond the 4 dimensions, space, time, the 3 dimensions of space and time. That's what I think. I think we've evolved to see the world accurately enough. But, like, obviously when you're dreaming, like, when you dream, your eyes are closed, but you're still seeing things. Or when you close your eyes and imagine things in your head, like, you're imagining things that aren't actually there. But those experiences are real. Like, if I'm having anxiety, like, I'm thinking about something that I'm gonna have to do later today, and it's making me worried, or I'm getting excited for something, like, oh, I'm gonna go to my friend's house and I'm imagining how it's gonna be like those experiences are not real. Oh wait, except they are real. It's like, just because nothing physical is happening, that doesn't matter. It's the experience. I mean, maybe you can argue that having that physical interaction with, like, because I do think it's like a back and forth. Like, the physical world interacts with us. Like, the light from this light, the photons from this light are, like, hitting my eyes, and that's, like, sending a signal to my brain, which then, like, creates the experience, and maybe that makes it more vivid of an experience, or so, I don't know. But it's like, at the end of the day, experience is the only thing that matters. Like, maybe you need the physical world in order to experience, but if the physical stuff on its own does not matter. It is the experience that ultimately matters. And there are good experiences and there are bad experiences. And if we had an experience machine that could produce even better, because that's the whole point of the experience machine. It would just be like real life, except better, because you can do fucking anything. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't go, like, I care, probably irrationally so, about people in this world. Like, I wouldn't, especially since I don't believe in the self. I don't care about myself because I don't think I exist. So I want to create, I'm like a utilitarian. I want the greatest good for the greatest number of people. So I want to just make a experience machine for myself. I want as many positive experiences happening as humanly possible in the world. But I do think that that's the only thing that matters. And it's like, obviously people, that's shit. Like, I don't want that to be true. I want to think that I'm so special and whatever, man. Alright, so I've been talking for long enough. It's like 45 minutes. And I don't want to spend 3 years editing this video. So make sure to like and subscribe. See ya.